What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out. This is my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. So, we're not going to talk about Sony today. Not really. I mean, we always kind of slide into how Sony's garbage and all that. I'm just kidding. But today was a crazy day. I mean, I had a big old breakfast and I passed out. It's one of those days. You just got to rest, you know? But before I did that, Twitter was on fire. It was on flames. It was on fire. It was lit in the bad way. And it seems like GTA 6 got leaked, right? So I was like, oh, wow, okay. Now, given the history of the GTA games, and you think about it, you know, what exactly was leaked? They said 90 clips of alpha footage, blah, 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 all that stuff. I saw a couple of clips. I was like, okay, looks like a game, you know, and looking past like the unfinishedness, is that a word? Of the unfinished nature of the graphics, I was like, that's gonna look real good on next gen and computers, not last gen, which of course they're making it for last gen. And they showed, I guess the footage that they showed was PS4 and PC, but they didn't specify, I think, something like, I don't know. You know, my knowledge of it is 29th hand, so, you know, I can't really say. But from what I gleaned from what I saw, was, doesn't look bad. Now, some people are making fun of it already. I'm like, what do you, it's like a year out, at least. They're probably gonna delay it another year. They don't care, they're Rockstar, you know? And everybody's making a giant, huge, oh my God, there's a giant leak. It's the worst leak in the history of leaks for Rockstar and all that. And I'm like, y'all are definitely being over dramatic. It's not a big deal. Did any of the story leak? I saw 3 separate peoples, not even protagonists. They were just focusing on different characters, so it could be anybody. They said, oh, they showed the lead female protagonist. I'm like, you sure that was the lead, or was it another NPC that was just, you know, messing around? And once again, it's pre-alpha. It's alpha or pre-alpha, whatever. It's like super early, so. And like I said, from what I saw from it, I was like, I'd mess around in that world. That looks all right, you know, because Rockstar has a way of feeling. Their games always have a way of feeling like, oh yeah, it's GTA. You know, you could go from Bully to 3 to GTA 4, 5. They all feel like, you know, except there was a change when 5 came out and it came to PC and they put it on the 3090 Ti Super Duper, whatever. I was like, yo, that looks crazy. That looks like almost real life with all the ray tracing and all that stuff and the different texture packs and stuff. Well, you know, I'm talking like it's Minecraft, but you know what I'm saying. They improved everything. I was like, dang, that looks cool. And that's GTA 5. So imagine GTA 6 with that treatment. And I'm like, okay, so, you know, so all that depends now. All that's gonna make the difference now. It's gonna look gorgeous, right? So it's about the story. It's about the characters, which it always has been. And we know nothing about that. We just know that, oh, it's a female, it's gonna be in Vice City again. They didn't really specify the actual time, era that it exists in or takes place in, whatever. You know, all that stuff is like, whatever, arbitrary. It's not important. But, you know, go to Twitter. If you've been in a coma like me all day, go to Twitter and see what they're talking about. Like, oh my God, ah. And then I saw some people saying, oh, PlayStation 4 is holding back the generation because it's on PlayStation 4. And then people assumed it was PlayStation 4. But here's the thing. They assumed it was PlayStation 4 because there were PlayStation 4 menus. And then someone explained, oh, that's the PlayStation 5 dev kit. It uses PlayStation 4 menus. And I'm like, hold up. The PlayStation 5 dev kit uses PlayStation 4 menus. I will assume that that's PlayStation 4. Why would a PlayStation 5 dev kit, come with me here, follow me now. Why would a PlayStation 5 dev kit use PlayStation 4 menus? Didn't I always say the PlayStation 5 was a PS4 Pro? PS4 Pro Plus? PS4 Pro Part 2? A Super PS4 Pro? I told you this. Nobody believe me. How you think they get these games running so quickly? So, oh, it's so easy. The devs is like, oh, it's so easy to make the PlayStation 5 games. Because you're not making PlayStation 5 games. You're making PlayStation 4 games. This is further proof that what I just said, and Sony's been lying the whole generation. Come on, son. I knew I could bring it over to I knew I could do it. I knew I could do it. Good job. But yeah, man. I mean, that's so asinine. If Sony treated the PlayStation like a PC, more like what Microsoft is doing, right? Then I would be like, all right, cool. If Sony had a PlayStation 5 that was the equivalent of Xbox Series S, and a PlayStation 5 that was the equivalent of the Xbox Series X, then I could say, oh, that's just the baby PlayStation 5. That's why it's like that. And I would be more inclined to be like, oh, because they adopted some of the old stuff from PlayStation 4, because the PlayStation 5 small, or whatever they could call it, tiny, is just a better version of the PlayStation 4 Pro, but on a new chipset. If they had done that. But they didn't. They pushed the PlayStation 5 like it's a PlayStation 5. And so the only difference is the chipset, which is the speed, I/O, and SSD. Everything else is the same. It's got the same CUDA cores. It doesn't have CUDA cores. It's got the same GUs as the PlayStation 4 Pro. I'm like, how's that? Anyway, stop it. I'm talking to myself. Stop it. But yeah, so GTA 6 leak. It's interesting to look at what they're leaking and stuff, but it's not a big deal. It's at least a year out. Probably, I'm gonna say more than a year, because always Rockstar, they take their time. They don't care if it's delayed. They don't care. That's how they are. They're like, we're gonna delay it. Of course, we don't care. We're Rockstar. We can do that. So it's not a big deal. Blah blah blah. And I mean, we could just watch what's popping off and enjoy the view, if you will. And we'll get back to the Sony stuff probably in like 2 seconds, because something's about to pop off. I know it is. Anyway, I appreciate y'all go into the comments, like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Let me know if this is really a big deal. Yeah, which one's your favorite GTA? That's another question. Like, you're looking at all the different games. I like 4. I never got it. I started playing 5 for 2 seconds. But it's okay. I stopped. I started real quick and then I stopped. I was like, I was Franklin. I was walking around the neighborhood. I was like, I don't care anymore, because it was just GTA. That's what I'm saying. So, but anyway, that's all I got. I'll see y'all the next time. To the way.